Okay, one more go. We have this hand does nothing at all. It's not super far away, but it doesn't have an exhume or a looting effect. So I got a mulligan it. Man, the difference between the good cards in this, the good hands in this deck and the bad hands are so massive. I'm not a big fan of this hand either. But you know, this hand I can like make two neonates, discard two things, try and draw into Black Source Exhume. Well, there's Black Source anyway. Well, we have a couple of chumps to gain some life. We might be able to make an angler relatively early for defense. And obviously we're in the spot where an exhume just is superb. I think it's fair to say that if there was an additional exhume effect in Pauper, this deck would be very frustrating to play against all the time, but I think it's not quite consistent enough to be like a top deck, but like when it runs hot, then wow. This is a weird spot. I actually think I'm just gonna play the Stinkweed Imp. Like they're only on one card left in hand, and they have two forgers, but I can actually beat that just by playing Stinkweed Imp a couple of times, and I'll chump with the neonate again, gain 4 life, do some looting. Now they can obviously do something like Galvanic Blast to Stinkweed Imp, which it looks like they're doing because they're getting a red mana. But that's fine because it's not going to my face. Oh, something else. Prophetic Prism. That still doesn't rule out Galvanic Blast, but Disciple of the Vault, that's fine. I've been sort of unimpressed by the Disciple of the Vault versions of Affinity. I mean, it's obviously still a great card. It was obviously busted with like Ravager and stuff, and when you get the occasional draw with a Tog and a Disciple and just tons of artifacts, then great. But I don't know, it just doesn't. I've never seemed to work out that well. Okay, time to dredge Stinkweed Imp. And I think what I will do is play Stinkweed Imp, Manamorphose into Stinkweed Imp. Well, because if I play Manamorphose, I might hit Exhume, which is obviously the best card to hit. So I can play Stinkweed, Gurmag, and Dress. Is that right? I suppose so. Time to see what's up. Well, it's just a land. Makes sense. Actually, yes. Do I want to do that? I guess so. I'm actually sort of just beating them up on board. We might not draw an Exhume for a while, so I'll take my extra Lava Axe while I can get it, since we know they've got just a land in hand, and we have a Syncorated Imp which bricks their Carapace Forger. Yeah, alright. That was sweet. So Martyr Bashes is not very great when, you know, they make 4/4s. Like, they may not have like Flare Husks and that sort of thing. I think Chainer's Edict is still good. And they're like, blue card count is still probably low enough that I don't want Pyroblast, even though they'll probably have a couple. Like, they're more focused on black cards than blue cards. I mean, they have like Thoughtcasts and all that sort of thing, but I think if they do have like counter spells, then the Duresses are going to do fine, and he won't be completely dead. So, alright, let's go. Yeah, they won't be completely dead even if they don't have like an actual counter spell or dispel or whatever in their hand. We can still usually hit a mana artifact, which, you know, slows them down, denies them a draw, that sort of nonsense. The hand's a bit sketchy, but it's got like a Neonate and a Crusher and like a Lightning Axe. I don't know, this one was borderline for sure. I'm gonna just crack this right away since I actually really want to draw land. Especially since half of them come into play tapped. See? Got it all figured out. So now we should be okay, but just whether we can find an Exhume before we die, basically. I think I want to Tormenting Voice, discarding Dragon Breath. Well, that wasn't the best thing ever, but, you know, we'll take a bunch of damage this turn. We can, like, play some of our many Lightning Axes. So I actually think I want to duress them now, in case they've got Fling. Oh, well, we nailed the Thoughtcast. They have Somber Havaguard as well as Disciple. That's a bit unusual, I think. I'm gonna axe this Etog here, since I don't want to be in a situation where they accidentally kill me by... Oh well, that's fine. Never mind. So they have Somber Havaguard and... Ooh, that's a pretty decent one. I don't think I want to dredge here. That's not quite the crusher of my dreams. They left one back. Is that some sort of misclick? Or is it because they drew Springleaf from? That one seems, the latter seems more likely. No. Well... If they break off a little bit, we can actually beat them with Synchredoms. I think. I suppose not, because then we need to like Lightning Axe in this turn. So in this turn, we need to hit Exhume or die. They got Galvanic Blast? Oh well, I think we're just dead now. Oh, the quest for Exhume. Also, in all these games, obviously I've been wanting to draw Exhume, but like Shred Memory wouldn't have done it either because it's on too much on the slow side. But here we go. Think it's keepable? We can dig pretty hard. I'm gonna lead with Sandstone Needle. I think we've got, you know, a bunch of red things to cast, so the faster we can get going with that, the better. Oh, there's a Crusher. That's a good start. If I'd known we had a second Bloodfell Caves on the way, I might have led with the first Bloodfell Caves. But it seems like we're in the same position we always get in. Which is fine. We have, you know, like 5-6 draws or something within a reasonable time frame to hit gold. No, I don't really want to draw Stinky Imp. Alright, I'm going to build up a little bit before using my Sandstone Needle and discarding things. I got to take a little bit of time off there since they didn't play a second land. Exhume. No Exhume there, but Faithless Looting is fine. Rakdos Carnarium, Manamorphose. I'm not very excited by any of these cards, to be honest. It's possible that we might have to end up hard casting something this game. So I kind of want to keep this Carnarium because then I can bounce Sandstone Needle, which gives me a bunch of extra mana. And like Manamorphose is just a blind cycle. I suppose I don't really want another Neonate. And if I discard Swamp, I don't get to cast anything else. I think that's okay though. Go. Another Disciple. It's not super scary unless the next card that comes out of their hand is an Atog. It looks like it's potentially going to be a 4/4 for 2 mana. Seems like a fair, balanced magic card. I would love to just draw Exhume, because then I can happily drag Dredger's Imp to try and hit Dragon's Breath, but all the Dragon's Breaths in the world in my graveyard aren't going to help unless I hit an Exhume. Actually, I think that's okay. I could take this hit for 2 here. Because I want to dig slightly more. Exhume, perfect. So what I'm going to do here is cast Manamorphose, Dredge Stinkweed Imp. We did not hit the one that we wanted, but it's okay because we have enough mana to play Tormenting Voice, discarding Stinkweed Imp. Try and hit Dragon Breath. We failed. That's okay though. We can try again. Found one. Great. Now obviously they could have had like a envelop, which would have been absolutely sick, and I would have laughed and cried in equal measure there, but whatever. So it is actually still a relatively close game. As always, like Crusher isn't like game over, like Reanimator in other formats where you put like an Iona in play or in Eilish Norn and then suddenly they just can't play cards anymore. We can still easily die to nearly every deck if you don't play Crusher on like turn 2. But we really, because they had the double Disciple draw here and we didn't have any sign of like a Lightning Axe or something. I mean, it's possible that Disciple is so good that we still wanted like an Electricity or something in our deck, but since that's like literally the only card it hits, and it's only really threatening in multiples, I decided against it. But I might be wrong. It's been known to happen. Them drawing another land there is pretty disastrous for us, I think, since if they didn't, then I don't think they get to play any more cards. Oh, well, they're letting me kill a Disciple of the Vault. I am on board with that one. Since I think the double Disciple is the only way we actually lose the game, so now that they're down to 1 Disciple, I think we're back to being ahead again. Especially since we can remove one of their permanents with the Chainer's Edict. I'm just gonna snap this off right away. It's possible I should have attacked first, then do this, but it's pretty marginal which one you choose. Oh well.